Good morning, students. Hope you all are doing well and practicing regularly because practicing is the key to crack banking examinations. The more a candidate practices, the higher chance he or she has of passing the banking examination. Cool? So now, let us cover another frequently asked topic in banking examinations, that is word swap, or you can say word interchange. So let's begin. So, in the banking exams, word swapping is the most common topic asked by the examiner. The word needs to be swapped and replaced with the correct word to form a contextually correct sentence. You can expect around 3 to 4 questions from this topic in almost all the bank exams like SBI PO, IBBS PO and so on. So, here are some tips given to solve word swap questions. So, let us discuss them. So, in these word swap questions, it is better to take the help of the options and use process of elimination. Here are some steps given. So, let us begin. First, read both the sentences and try to find out if any word or words have been used incorrectly, contextually and grammatically. Swap the words according to option. Note, check one option at a time. Now next, check contextual and grammatical correctness with the swapped words of the option that you are checking. Next, eliminate the option if the above condition is not satisfied. Both sentences must become correct with swapped words of the option that you are checking. If not, then move ahead with next option until both sentences become contextually and grammatically correct. Mark that option as your answer. Fine. I hope it's clear to you all. Now, moving on, let's solve some questions based on word swapping. So, here are the instructions given. Let me read them. In the sentence, certain words are in bold and numbered from A to D, which are the possible pairs to be interchanged. Choose the pair or pairs of words which need to be interchanged to make the sentence grammatically correct and meaningful. Fine. So, here's the first question. Start solving. So, is it done? Let's discuss. Let me first read out the sentence given. Unable to hike the premium afford, the struggling couple had to cancel their insurance and sell their vehicle. So, the given sentence basically talks about a struggling couple who had to cancel the insurance and sell the vehicle as they were unable to manage the premium increase. So, now tell me, what is premium? Premium is basically an amount of money that you pay regularly to a company for insurance against accidents, damages and so on. So, clearly premium afford is incorrect. Interchange afford with hike. Hike means a sharp increase, especially in price. So, premium hike would mean increase in premium. So, that fits perfectly. So, now the sentence makes sense. Thus, A and B must be interchanged. Hence, the correct answer is option 2. So, now the correct sentence after interchanging the words should be: unable to afford the premium hike, the struggling couple had to cancel their insurance and sell their vehicle. Fine. I hope it's clear. So, now moving on, here's the next question. Solve it. So, is it done? Let's tally. let me first read out the sentence given. Mrs. Sharma should lose no time in recommend the National Road Safety Board to forming important changes to infrastructure and to enable professional accident investigation. So, now let us analyze the sentence given. So, as you all can see, preposition in is used over here before recommend, and as we all know that a preposition is either followed by a noun or by a verb in ing form. That is, if any verb comes after preposition, it must be in gerund form. Fine. But here after in, recommend is used, and as we all know, recommend is a verb in its first form. Hence, clearly it must be replaced. Among the words given in bold, infrastructure is the only word that is a noun. But on interchanging it, the sentence does not make any sense. So, clearly among the words given in bold, only forming satisfies this condition. That is, it is the only verb in ing form. Thus, A and B must be interchanged. After interchanging them, the sentence makes sense. Hence, the correct answer is option 1. So, the correct sentence after interchanging the words should be, Mrs. Sharma should lose no time in forming the National Road Safety Board to recommend important changes to infrastructure and to enable professional accident investigation. Also, you can see after 2 verbs first form comes. So, if we look at it from that perspective, then also forming is wrong. Recommend would fit perfectly over here. Fine. So, I hope it is clear to you all. Now, moving on, solve the next question. So, is it done? Let us discuss. Let me first read out the sentence given. The discreetly villain in the fairy tale crazed followed the young children steal the dark path in the woods in order to down the food from their basket. So, let us analyze the sentence given. So, as you all can see, villain is a noun. Thus, adjective should come before it. The use of discreetly is wrong because it is an adverb. So, among the given emboldened words, only crazed, meaning insane, is an adjective. Steal is a verb and down is a preposition. Therefore, clearly A and B must be interchanged. Now, on reading the sentence further, it is obvious that the line, in order to down the food from their basket, does not make any sense. The word steal is a right fit. Steal the food makes sense. So, clearly C and D also must be interchanged. Hence, option 2, that is both A and B and C and D, is the correct answer. So, now the correct sentence after interchanging the words would be, the crazed villain in the fairy tale discreetly followed the young children down the dark path in the woods in order to steal the food from their basket. I hope it is clear. Now, moving on, here is the instruction given from question 4 onwards till question 10. So, let me read them out. In the sentence, certain words are in bold and numbered from A to E, which are the possible pairs to be interchanged. Choosing the pairs of words which need to be interchanged to make the sentence grammatically correct and meaningful. Fine. So, here is the question given. Start solving. So, is it done? Let's check. Let me first read out the sentence given. The proponents of the consumer friendliness of the government must comment that the illusion of this acceptable limit of inflation potentially rests upon the savings of the recalled consumers, which the government is unduly misemploying for its own gains. Now, so if we analyze the sentence given, as you can see here, must is used. So, after must a verb should come, but common is an adjective. So, as you can see, consumers is a noun, thus an adjective is required to come before it, but recall is a verb. So, it should be removed from here. Thus, among the words given in bold, only common is an adjective. Hence, clearly P and D must be interchanged, and as we all know, recall is a verb, hence it can come after must. So, they both fit perfectly after interchanging. Also, A, C and E have the correct words in both grammatical and contextual sense. Therefore, the correct answer is option 3. So, the correct sentence after interchanging the words should be: the proponents of the consumer friendliness of the government must recall that the illusion of this acceptable limit of inflation potentially rests upon the savings of the common consumers, which the government is unduly misemploying for its own gains. Fine. Now, moving on, here is the next question. Solve it. So, is it done? Let us discuss. So, let me first read out the sentence given. Warned, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has repeatedly about the increased frequency of forest fires due to climate change in its assessment reports 2007 onwards. So, on reading the sentence, it is evident that words C, D and E are in the correct positions. So, if we look at the options given, all options from 1 to 4 are ruled out. Only option 5 is remaining. Thus, clearly option 5 is the correct answer. Reportedly means according to what some say, while want means to inform someone in advance of a possible danger or problem and so on. Thus, otherwise also on reading, it is obvious that A and B should be interchanged. So, the correct sentence should be: reportedly, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has warned repeatedly about the increased frequency of forest fires due to climate change in its assessment reports 2007 onwards. Fine. Now, moving on, solve the next one. So, is it done? Let us tally. The rise in Earth's temperature can cause alterations in the ecology, including and pattern, sea level and a change in the quantity and increasing of rainfall. Let us analyze the sentence. So, as you all can see, article "an" is used before word "see". And as we all know, after an word beginning with a vowel or vowel sound is used, but here word pattern is used. It is beginning with a consonant. Hence, it needs to be interchanged. Among the words given in bold, only increasing begins with a vowel. Hence, C and E must be interchanged. Therefore, option 3 is the correct answer. Fine. So, is it clear? Now, moving on, here is the next question. Solve it. Now, is it done? Let's discuss the draft of damages and the intensity of the Australian wildfires have extended the catastrophe caused by the fires in Brazilian Amazon forest and in California in the United States. So, let us first look into the meanings of the first 3 highlighted words. So, first one is draft, meaning caused to seem small or insignificant in comparison. Next is intensity, the quality of being intense. Next is extent, that is the area covered by something. So, from the above meanings, it is clear that word B is in its correct position. Also, on reading the sentence carefully, it is obvious that words D and E are also in their correct positions. So, they perfectly fit in both grammatically and contextually. So, if we look at the options given, we can negate options 1, option 2, option 4 and option 5. So, only option 3 is remaining. Thus, option 3 is the correct answer. So, for the sentence to be correct contextually, A and C needs to be interchanged based on their meanings. So, the correct sentence after interchanging the words should be: the extent of damages and the intensity of the Australian wildfires have dwarfed the catastrophe caused by the fires in Brazilian Amazon forest and in California in the United States. Fine. Now, moving on, here is the next question. Solve it. So, is it done? Let's tally. So, let me first read out the sentence given. For over 50 years, the chronicles of Narnia have canon the fantasy genre to become part of the transcendent of classic literature. So, let us first analyze the given sentence. So, as you all can see, before word be, have is used. So, with have plus verb's third form will come, that is have plus past participle. But here canon is used, which is a noun. Therefore, it needs to be interchanged. Among the words given in bold, only transcendent satisfies the condition, that is verb's third form. Hence, B and D must be interchanged. Also, canon is a group of books, plays, etc. that are considered to be very important, valuable and serve as a recognized standard of quality, social significance and so on. So, for example, the canon of American literature. Thus, canon fits perfectly over here. The canon of classic literature would be apt. So, clearly the correct answer is option 1. Hence, the correct sentence after interchanging the words should be: for over 50 years, the chronicles of Narnia have transcended the fantasy genre to become part of the canon of classic literature. Fine. I hope it's clear to you all. So, that is it for today. We will continue further in the next lecture. Thank you.